What's up, everybody? So I wanted to do a quick follow-up from my Shanquella video because I honestly feel like the police report is something that is getting lost in the shuffle of social media. Some of these details I had never heard before tonight, actually sitting down and reading it. So I wanted to share it with you guys because I think that it is very, very interesting and very, very telling. Also, her funeral was this past Saturday and it was beautiful. Even in death, she bought the entire city out. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she's from, and honestly, it was packed. It was a packed house. Everybody was there. I know by now you've probably seen the footage or at least partial footage from her funeral because her story has gone so viral and every news outlet and blog has picked it up. So nothing really makes my blog any special. I'm very small, but I still want to share this with you guys because if I hadn't heard it before, maybe some of y'all hadn't heard it before. So check out this story. So, according to the Miami Herald, information from a police report says Shanquella Robinson was alive when medical help first arrived at the vacation home where she was staying with a group of friends last month in Cabo, Mexico. The report differs from details previously reported from 25-year-old Robinson's death certificate that said that she died within 15 minutes of being injured. Instead, a police report shows that a doctor from a local hospital was with Robinson and the others in the house for close to 3 hours before she was pronounced dead. So the report goes on to say that the Charlotte Observer obtained these excerpts from a police report earlier this week that had not been yet released to the public. The information was provided to them by Gerald Zuniga, an investigative reporter who works in Los Cabos for the Metropolitan Mix. So it goes on to say that Robinson is a Charlotte native who traveled to Cabo on October 28th and she died a day later. Notably, the police information reported by and provided by the Metropolitan Mix did not mention obvious signs of Robinson's physical injuries, which family members have said existed on her body prior to her burial. Grave injuries to her back and neck were determined to be the cause of death after an autopsy by officials in Mexico. The police report says she also suffered cardiac arrest. The Charlotte Observer has been unable to reach those who were on the trip with her. No arrests were reported as of late Monday. Robinson's family became suspicious of her friend's claims that she died of alcohol poisoning when a Mexican autopsy report showed the cause of death was severe spinal cord injury and Atlas luxation. Atlas luxation is a form of a neck injury. The information from the police report shows that at 2:13 p.m. on October 29th, medical help was summoned to Villa Linda 32, a property run by company Cabos Villas located in San Juan del Cabo. Around an hour later, Dr. Caroline Beatrice of the American Medical Center, a local hospital, arrived to treat Robinson, according to report excerpts. House calls to vacation rentals for routine non-emergency services are common in tourist hubs in Mexico. So you call for help. People are honestly that live in Mexico that are these medical professionals are thinking, oh, somebody else got drunk. Oh, somebody else passed out. Oh, somebody else fell. Oh, something bit them. So it's going to be non-medical that comes out to see you first when you call. So keep that in mind. The Observer confirmed with American Medical Center on Monday that Godrice is employed there, which was the person who was summoned for help by Shanquella's friend. The hospital did not respond to requests for medical and autopsy report. It is unclear in the police report excerpt who called for medical help, but the reporting person is listed as Winter Donovan of Greensboro. Donovan is one of the 6 people identified by family, friends, and media sources as a person Robinson was traveling with. Winter Donovan, of course, could not be reached for comment, and her phone number listed on the police report has been disconnected. The police report is in Spanish, according to the Charlotte Observer staff, but the doctor said upon arrival, he was told that Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol and the medical call was for Robinson to be given a quote-unquote IV. The police record indicates that the doctor found a female that he, is understood to be Robinson with stable vital signs. So she was stable and she had good vital signs, but she was dehydrated, unable to communicate verbally, and appearing to be inebriated. The doctor reported that he believed that Robinson needed to be transferred to a hospital, but her friends insisted that she be treated at the villa. The doctor attempted an IV and was unsuccessful to get a vein. According to the report, it's unclear what medicine he had in his IV, and I'm no medical expert, but since she appeared to be dehydrated, it was probably simple saline and he could not get a vein. The information from the police says the doctor was there for close to an hour when Robinson began having a seizure. The convulsions from the seizure lasted less than a minute, according to the report. At this point, the patient's friend named Winter Donovan called 911 to request an ambulance. According to the Observer's Spanish to English translation of the report, this was around 4:20 p.m. In the meantime, the patient presented with difficulty breathing and a lowered pulse, and they gave her rescue breaths. So the doctor, along with a friend, began administering CPR at 4:49 p.m. when the doctor detected that Robinson had stopped having a pulse. Police arrived and talked with the doctor who was treating Robinson at 5:25 p.m. It's not clear from the information in the police report exactly what time an ambulance arrived from the 911 call. The report information indicates paramedics administered a total of 14 rounds of CPR, 5 doses of adrenaline, and 6 discharges of the AED shocks without success. So, unable to revive Robinson, the doctor declared her dead at 5:57 p.m. Now, this is all according to the report. The police report lists deceased person, cardiac arrest, as the reason that the police were called. Now, with this report coming out, this story just gets fishier and fishier. What medical personnel waits an hour if they think in their mind this person needs medical attention, but the friends in the background are saying no, just treat her at the villa, and the doctor couldn't get a vein to get her an IV to get her some fluids in her body. And what did you do? Just lay there with her until she went into cardiac arrest, until she started having these seizures? Why wasn't 911 called immediately when you realized that you couldn't do anything by your lonesome there with this woman who is incompetent, and she couldn't communicate? She couldn't say what was wrong. She couldn't say if she was hurting. She was barely there. Yes, her vital signs were fine, but she was barely there. So why not call 911 immediately when you figure out, hey, I'm going to be of no help. I can't get a vein. Her veins were literally collapsed. If you can't get a vein, they are collapsed. So you couldn't do anything. So why not call 911 immediately? Like, this little bit of information from this police report really pissed me off, because whatever her friends did, maybe she could have been saved in the hour that you teeter-tottered your ass over there in that villa and didn't call for emergency backup, and you let this woman go into cardiac arrest and have these seizures and die on that floor. What the hell is going on in Mexico? Y'all, this is just my 2 cents. Now that this report has come out, it's crazy as hell. It's getting more crazier, and there's probably going to be even more charges brought up, and neglect, and a whole bunch of other things. Because what the hell you mean? You sat there with her for an hour until she went into cardiac arrest. You didn't do anything for her. Okay, her friend had to call an hour later. Her quote unquote friend, Winter Donovan, is the one who called an hour later when she finally went into complete shock and started having these seizures. Like, it's mind-blowing to me that it got that far without you calling 911 to begin with and letting this woman go to a hospital and get professional medical treatment with things that could have helped her. No, we will never know, So what y'all think?